Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Glory of the Giants here on Swindler's Den. We are back again, once again, and let's introduce my players before I just stumble upon words for a little longer. We have Grizlocke.
Hey everybody, I'm Grizlocke. You can find me right here on Swindler's Den, playing all sorts of games, having all sorts of fun. Real quick, uploads still may be sporadic while we get things straight. Just kind of whenever we can get an episode in, we're gonna throw one out until my life kind of gets normalized. So thanks for sticking with us through this time. And today I'll be playing Kelborn Kerrigan, the half-elf ranger fighter and freckled-faced lad.
And speaking of sporadic, we have Barely Caffeinated.
Hey there, I'm Barely Caffeinated. You can find me over at Crits and Coffee, where we're currently running the Shattered Obelisk campaign. It's a lot of fun, so go check it out there. Tonight I will be playing as Siegfried, the Aasimar cleric.
And speaking of a lot of fun, we have DrPhage.
Hello, I'm DrPhage. You can find me here. You can find me on Crits and Coffee. You can find me on the Interdimensional Library playing Gluttony and Earth. Lots of fun stuff happening over there. Tonight I am playing the magnanimous Benjamin Koalana Jr., the half-elf warlock sorcerer.
And speaking of fun stuff happening over there, it's Kyle.
It's so fun. It is very, very fun. Tonight I'll be playing Keflorn, what is he? A half-elf fighter paladin.
And last time on Glory of the Giants, our group had to deal with the fallout of one of our characters, Mr. Siegfried, getting his blood sucked, his divine blood getting sucked by a vampire. And they said, hey, no, none of that. We're gonna kill your wife. And Lord Reginald's like, well, okay, well, that's sad for me. I'm getting into my Strahd recap voice. Like, can't be doing that. So they interrogated Reginald until they got the information on where to find Lady Victoria, where she had retreated into the catacombs beneath the estate. Our group went down there and disposed of her in a brawl in the tombs, and now they are, after getting, well, they did get instructions on where to go to find the death giants, and we return to our group in the catacombs themselves. You guys have ascended. Sorry, we're not in the catacombs themselves. We are back on the grounds of the estate. And what is it you all are planning to do at this point? It is late at night. You haven't finished long rests. So it is up to you as to what goes forth here.
Do we think the tavern has rooms?
Wouldn't hurt to.
Okay. Head over to the Morose Tavern.
You will see as you exit the estate, one of the remaining vampiric maids is there outside waiting for you with there is a chariot, a very extravagant chariot, but it's almost built on the back of this enormous arachnid, like on the what's the butt of a spider called? Is that the thorax? I always forget bug parts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's thorax.
Thorax part of the spider. And she opens the door for all of you to step in.
I'll be a little hesitant thinking about LOL.
Where, if I may ask, where will this be taking us?
You're right. I step back.
Wherever you're directed to.
Very good, thank you.
I whisper to the spider, the death totem.
No, not yet.
Oh,
We have to sleep.
right.
I have 5 strength right now. I must nap. Benjamin is sweating carrying his normal bag. I am over encumbered.
Oh,
Yes, currently Benjamin is low on strength. Siegfried is 1 level of exhaustion, and is it 2 of you are missing your maximum HP right now?
Oh yeah, I am too. Like,
Just
yes,
Benjamin
but
and
that's not
Siegfried
from
are
this
missing
fight.
Max HP right now.
Yeah, I'm down 6 HP, but that's from the souls.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
actually
think I'm
not too
down
bad.
3. Oh no, I'm down 8
2, I think.
maximum.
Yeah, you got 2 levels, I believe, of drops.
Yeah.
Drops?
Drops? Where we dropping, boys? Great. We'll go to the tavern then this evening to finish our rest.
All right, just think it.
If there's still time, I don't know, or shops closed down at this point. Is it
Yes,
too
the
late?
shop would be closed right
Okay.
now.
Okay. All right, never mind. Did I? You know what? Did I see any small ponds or anything in our travels?
I'll say you haven't seen any.
Okay.
No.
Based on what we've experienced, would I think it's very dangerous to leave town a little bit?
Yeah, it's like a fog of souls that are trying to rip the life essence from you. So
I'll wait till morning.
right. Yeah, your griffins are like hooked to the back of this thing too. And yeah, you see like there's like 4 lanterns kind of swinging on the outside of each corner of the carriage that has a lantern as you all climb in and think about the tavern, and the spider starts skittering off towards it.
Interesting.
But yeah, you make it there and walk inside. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, walk inside. Do you have any rooms remaining for tonight still?
Yeah, you see like what the image of the female bartender that was here earlier is there, but she's not like moving until you talk, and then she like shimmers for a second. It's like, yes, if you'll wait a moment, we will be able to have a room set up for you.
Excellent.
My kid woke
How
up.
much will?
You woke up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut. All right, so you wait for a moment with this shimmering illusion standing in front of you. And before too long, from the back, the actual bartender comes out, just kind of rubbing one of her eyes. You picked quite the time to come in and get a room, get yourselves kicked out of the estate.
We had a difference of opinion that required us to find different accommodations.
All right, well, I've got 4 rooms set up for you. It'll just be 5. Wait, we don't do silver. It'll be a gold apiece.
Great. Pay for my room with my last remaining gold piece.
Oh, you only had 1 left.
Well, I have other money.
Oh.
I only have 1 gold piece
Okay.
though.
All right, you were given keys to your rooms. Nice little modest rooms. Work for sleeping in.
Oh, these are nice little modest rooms.
We have to go to bed, Kevhorn.
I don't care. I'll say this out to the group chat, the mental group chat. See, would you like to be alone right now?
It may be best for me to be alone for a little bit.
Gotcha.
And I think Siegfried just walks into his room and closes the door behind him.
I do, because I think Huey's still in nasty rat form. I'll clean him up because he was rolling around in blood, and have him. I know, like, we've had him essentially go inert when I've been sleeping, but even so, I'll still have him post up invisible outside of Siegfried's room for the night.
Yep, he goes and stands on his hind legs outside of Siegfried's room, invisible. Any other things anybody's doing in their rooms before sleep? Or are we just slumbering?
The usual, put up my echo, put off my armor, have him post up, alert me if anything happens.
Alright.
I just think I have a hard time getting to sleep.
Oh yeah, same. Yes, it's not a restful night, like remaining night of sleep for me either.
Alright, then everybody will get a long rest unless you think you didn't. And you can clear exhaustion, or if you lost HP from the souls, you can clear that, and you can regain strength if you lost that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Can't be walking around with a 5 strength.
I forgot that.
have to go back to up to my respectable 9 strength.
Yeah, and you all awaken in the morning, unperturbed, at least further than you already were perturbed.
Sorry, I have to reset some of my items too, because D&D Beyond doesn't like to reset items.
Oh, D&D Beyond.
Cool. Great. Get breakfast, and then start heading out take a look at the Death Giant instructions.
Yeah, if you get breakfast at the tavern, it's like very bland, like dry biscuits and seasonless meat.
Fun.
I'm gonna take my breakfast to go.
All right.
I'm gonna see if I can find a florist.
Florist, all right. Give me a luck check.
Luck check. This dice looks lucky. An 8.
An 8. And you kind of wander around the town. You don't see a florist here. You see like a rundown chapel. You see like a shop that doesn't have a ton of goods in the windows. Yeah, no florist, it seems. Not the town that would have one, even though they have the estate. The estate probably has its own florist.
Darn. Okay. I just make a mental note. Send flowers.
Fair enough. Anything anybody else wants to do before hitting the soul fields?
I don't have anything else.
All right, then you climb up onto the back of this spider carriage, and it kind of lifts up, ready to take your instruction.
Pull out the scroll.
It says that they would be heading north to try and look for them as they pass through this area.
Okay, I think north?
Like the the carriage shakes as the spider starts taking off. Its 8 legs jostling the carriage a little bit more. It's not like super bumpy, but it does sway a little more than you'd expect it to, especially because you're on the creature that's pulling it.
Yeah. I imagine it's almost like a rolling, like based off of how like spider legs move. Like, ugh. Sorry, I just hate spiders. It's not a bad thing for me. I just don't like them.
Fair enough. You start making your way towards the north part of town. Is it quiet in our carriage today as we travel?
Does this carriage have a window?
It does. They
Okay.
are like sealed windows. They aren't like open or
Yeah.
openable in any way.
But we can at least see out. That's what I was just making sure.
Yes.
Okay. I think Benjamin's pretty quiet. He's not sure, like, exactly if anything needs to be talked about, and is kind of going over what his plans are for the Giants. I do have some information on the Death Giants that I got before we left the manor. They're bound or serve the Raven Queen. So I was going to, since Siegfried is our candidate for this totem, I was going to try to pitch them, sell them on granting a boon to another servant of the gods to reap souls.
And if that doesn't work,
I don't know. I don't want to fight them. We don't really have any need to. I mean, it seems wasteful and unnecessary, especially since they don't seem to be part of this war that King Hreg is waging.
We don't want to accidentally get them involved either.
so
You know, force them to get involved by us. You know, making them choose a side.
I guess we'll just back off. They say no then.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably make a impassioned plea, that type of situation, but this was kind of a little bit of a long shot anyways, so if it doesn't work out, we haven't spent too much time here trying to get it.
I think Siegfried throughout this entire conversation is still just very reserved, arms crossed, heads down kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is your neck covered?
No.
Are the
Well,
bite marks still there?
I have a red scarf on, but I don't know. Are the bites still there?
Well, the way you were bitten it's a little further down on like the shoulder more, like closer to the shoulder, not right on the bone, but it would be in a way where it would be hard to see unless you were like actually showing it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be showing it.
Wouldn't be showing shoulder?
No shoulder.
Dang. Man of the claw. See, ice.
Yeah, he was bitten in a way where it wouldn't show, so that she possibly could get away with it, but of course, did not happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you guys, like, not far after getting out of the town of Morose, and you're in this field of souls, this deep fog that's almost impossible to see through, but the spider continues forward confidently. But yeah, not far into the fog, all of a sudden, like, souls just start slamming themselves against the windows, and you can see them screaming as they're like trying to claw at the window, and it almost seems like it's hurting them to be this close to this carriage. And like every once in a while, they'll try to get in through the window but aren't able to, and they slowly peel away after too much pain occurs to them. It seems like these lanterns do drive off these souls that are hanging on the outside of the carriage.
Interesting. Can I do, like, obviously from the inside I probably won't be able to get much. Is there anything I can try and glean about these lanterns, like how they work?
Do an Arcana.
Love to. So smart.
Also,
Well, he rolled.
oh, sorry. Go ahead. You first.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask how big the carriage is.
It's a pretty good sized carriage. Like there'd be two of you on either side, and your knees wouldn't be touching. There's like enough space in between you guys that they're not touching. I will say, did you guys bring your griffins with you, or are they back at the tavern?
I assumed we would have left them back at the tavern since we don't need them. And I believe
they have a little bit of a rougher time on the outside of the carriage here.
Yeah, because Lord Reginald also said it's a fairly short trip, like there and back for where the giants are. So,
Is there a driver? I couldn't remember because it seemed like it was self-driving, right?
Nope, seems to be
Just a spider.
driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
At first I thought I heard Drider, so I got a little confused.
What was your Arcana roll?
Oh, I got a 6, so I don't know anything.
You're not entirely sure. You can see like it's a gray flame in this space is flickering in the thing, and it doesn't shine out a huge light. But even if there were hue to this world, that flame would probably be a different color because it doesn't seem like the other flames you've been seeing in just like buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to try to take out a or like one of my torches and light it on one of these lanterns and see if
they are outside the carriage right now.
Okay,
and the doors,
I wouldn't be able to
the
like
windows
reach
are
out.
sealed. Yeah,
Okay.
no, the windows are sealed right now, but you could once you get
you
out of the
stop,
carriage.
yeah.
It'd be like
That's probably what I'll do.
all right. Yeah. Is there? It's about you. Reginald said it'd take about half an hour to get to the area where he thought the giants would be. Is there anything you guys would like to do within that time, or we can just get to the point, as it were?
If there's space, I'll see if there's a new echo.
Yeah, you can summon an echo, essentially in between you and the other person you're sitting on the bench with, on your side. Give me a D12.
We're up to a 12.
I mean, I just picked a number that was high.
Oh,
We're probably past 12 at this point, to be fair.
6.
6. The one with like charred skin appears.
But he's real in Shadowfell, so now it smells like burnt flesh in here.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it smells like slightly like burnt flesh. You can see the crisping of the flesh peeling away from the muscle.
I'll put him away.
Return.
Shows up and you're just like, nope, this is a bad one. Go away.
I was just trying to see if there was a new iteration,
Different giant squished one.
because I am curious if there is a point where they stop.
Mm.
Then that would mean that me has made it the further.
I get it. Yeah. Makes sense.
So if you've made it the furthest, then you're assuming that means you're the next to die?
Technically,
Oh.
if I survive whatever the encounter is, if I don't, I'll be an echo. I think.
Who
That's how I'm viewing whatever this is.
who would you be an echo for?
The next Kev.
Another me?
You're the only you I know.
I pop up another one. Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, roll another D12.
2.
2. you can smell salt water as a drowned version of Kevhorn appears. Just like vomits up water.
But can that one summon another one?
Not anymore.
I'm not too sure.
Look, all I'm saying here is that Kevhorn's great and all, but I don't think our whole timeline is purely based on Kevhorn. Like, if this Kevhorn dies, all of a sudden we all forget about this one. And
I don't think.
No.
I think there's just different instances, different timeline. There's a different us. That's how I'm choosing to define what's going on with me.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no reason to worry that you would die. There's no guarantee that just because the other ones have died doesn't mean that. I mean, there could be if we're talking timelines, they could be infinite. So of course you're gonna have dead versions of yourself. There's probably millions of alive ones as well.
The strange thing is, we all seem to be taking the same path.
Mm-hmm.
If there's infinite amounts of timelines, then there's going to be just a single difference in every single one.
But why haven't we seen someone that has died in a way that we haven't encountered? Everything that we've seen from them is following our path. If there's an infinite supply of them, then we should see one that died of old age or choked on a chicken bone.
I start flipping. see if there's one that choked on a chicken bone.
That's you. You're the one that choked on a chicken bone.
No! What did we eat for breakfast? Was it chicken?
Perhaps
bad ham.
Perhaps there's a lot of Kevhorns who just decided to stay at home and not to go on adventures that day. And you're just summoning the best and brightest and strongest that there were.
We're all on the same path as us.
Right.
Or I'm just waiting to be an echo.
No.
Well, if you take that view, aren't we all just waiting to die?
Yeah. Eventually, we all become echoes.
Right. So no need to fuss over it.
I'm not so much. Well, I am concerned about, dying. It's just, why is this happening? I don't know why I've been afflicted with this. And I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to go to low, but I know that's a bad idea.
We are going to the Death Giants. Anyone might know something. Might be them.
Maybe. Part of me doubts that, though.
You asked any other deity about this? I know you spent some time with the giant goddesses.
Oh, it's been a while. What did they say? I don't think I outright told them or asked them. I think I was just looking for an answer for the immediate threat.
Yeah,
I think that's what I did. I don't think I asked about my situation.
Yeah, the only thing you really got from them about that was them telling you that they found a moment to reach in to get you because the other gods were trying to get you at the same time. They weren't going to initiate pulling you out of that portal, but all the other ones were also trying to do it at the same time.
When did you
Gods
first
can't interfere with mortal things.
When did you first start experiencing all of this? How old were you?
When I was in my teens.
And was it some sort of tragic event, or did it just happen in your sleep? What was the situation that brought it about?
Which one was the first one? Was that the one I drowned?
Yeah.
I almost drowned.
Hmm.
And,
I have a question.
Yeah.
I didn't think about this or try to pay attention to it. Are these echoes growing old with me, or are they staying the exact same age that I died at? Do they look like me, or do they look like what I looked like when I died?
That's such a good question.
Up until this moment, it's been like weirdly ambiguous to you just because of them being echoes. They do look like you, but like it was hard to tell what their age was. Like you just kind of associated them as being the same age as you. But when you brought up this the drowned one just now, and it was like very corporeal, it looked like you when you were a teenager.
Makes me
But
wonder if
the flesh, as much as you could tell about the one that had his flesh, Chris, looked like your age currently, or like around the time that it started appearing.
It makes me question, is it a loop where if my journey ends, then the other starts? Or are we all infinitely taking the same route, and then one by one we all just die?
So why wouldn't any of us be having similar effects?
Well, I'm assuming nothing. I don't really know. Would you guys be with the echoes?
Maybe all those other selves are ones that went at it alone?
Or with someone else.
Or
If
maybe
it's... Go.
Or maybe you pissed off some god and they're just messing with you. Trying to get into your psyche.
Which makes me think that I vowed myself to a god, then later on went to a different place.
What body of water did you almost drown in?
I was learning how to fish with my dad, then one thing led to another. I went down.
What was it?
And panic.
In Neverwinter.
A lake?
Yes.
No, it wouldn't have been Neverwinter.
No.
It would have been...
Oh, yeah, no. Lied.
Yeah, sorry.
This freaking one over here.
Sam?
Oh, I mean, like, I'm just asking, like, a lake, a river.
It would have been a sea.
Ocean.
There's a sea like in the center of the continent.
Saltwater, freshwater?
Saltwater. The Sea of Fallen Stars.
This was 10 years ago? Roughly? You were a teen?
Yes, roughly.
Might be a long shot. I know I met Miriandra in the last, 5-ish years or something like that. Like that range is kind of what I've assumed. Do I have an idea of when possibly the Umberlee to Miriandra switchover happened?
It'd been over a quarter of a century, so more than 25 years ago.
Okay. I don't know if it's pertinent, but if it was a sea, the first god to come after you was goddess of the seas. If she feels that she deserves your soul and was robbed of it because you did not drown.
Are you saying that I saved myself somehow?
I don't know. If this somehow, if something else stepped in or something changed that, it's also just interesting that she was the first one to notice, and I mean, granted, she is capricious in that way, but wanted to add you to her treasure hoard. She is a fan of drowning people. And in the sense of she's a fan of people who are drowning.
Also a fan of drowning people, to be fair.
Well, yes, both, but like that, not the way that I meant it.
So, are you saying that it might be her just messing with his mind, or
I think it might. I don't know if. I mean, that would be a wild. He is new? So if it's a case of godly intention gone wrong, where for perhaps a reason outside of her control, Kevhorn was saved, and now she is trying to repeat the cycle of getting his soul back in various different ways of an unintended godly influence.
Can I look outside the window? Depending on your answer, I'm going to do something.
Okay.
Are we there yet?
I guess, what do you mean by there? You don't really have a little general direction.
Okay, I'm going to start taking off my armor, the upper portion at least, and my shirt. If that's the case, he turns around. You see the tattoo. You kind of see it kind of looks like it was freshly put on. Well, some lines are kind of freshly put on. It basically looks like it starts from the bottom of his spine and it keeps going out and it keeps branching out. Some branches stop. What's the word? Stop, but the others keep going, and then stop, but the others keep going, type of thing.
Yep.
Do you sense anything godly or magical?
Detect magic.
Yeah, it's 10-minute, right?
No, I can cast it. I have it at will, so it only takes me an action because I have an evocation.
And you get School of Magic, correct?
Yes, School of Magic.
I always gotta look at the skills of magic, even though
They're not. Oh, I can't think of the word. intuitive.
I think I have it, though. I just want to double check. Yeah. Yes, this is heavily magical. It's glowing, and it is divination magic.
Can I, as I'm like reaching out to touch the tattoo?
Go for it.
And I like just like touching it to see if it like feels like a normal tattoo or if there anything feels strange about it.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Lord.
What? You do get +2. You're next to me.
Is this being charmed?
No.
Okay.
Put to sleep.
No.
Okay. That's a 17.
What's your spell save DC, Kefhorn?
What?
It's probably like a 14 or something.
It's
right?
low.
Like
It's
14, I think.
it's 14.
Yeah, you feel magic surging through it. Give me a perception check.
Oh, hell yeah, that was good. 17 again.
It feels like it is moving beneath your fingers. It feels like it's living. And as you're looking, you can see like it's it's almost imperceivable. Like some of the tips of those branching parts are like etching into his skin as you look, but it's so minuscule it would be impossible to see unless you're looking for it.
Yeah, it's one of those where like I put my finger on the end of one, and after a couple seconds, you can start to see it like creep out.
Me, when my sink is clogged, I'm seeing if the water's going down or not.
Me in the 90s looking for a loading bar and putting my cursor over the top of it. And early 2000s, more likely. But
Me today.
This is like, I think you'd probably feel Benjamin like when he touches it, that like extra jerk of his hand, like when he's feeling this like magical whiplash coming off of the tattoo. It's growing. It's not static.
Yeah, I've felt it moving a lot ever since our journey. It has been growing.
Also, heavily divination magic, which would make sense for different futures, branching paths, auguries, foresight, things like that.
I take out the ABCs of gods, and I'm looking for divination gods or tattoo gods.
Give me a investigation.
Okay.
I will
16.
say. Sorry, you can go ahead with that.
You don't find any, and it's not that like. First off, part of it is I don't know. So, it's not you realize it's not because the book doesn't have the information or that you just can't find it.
It's a children's book also, so it's
yeah. Well, it's not like the book left it out. It's that the book doesn't have anything that would match this. But it didn't like purposely leave it out, if that makes sense. I'm trying to say you're not missing anything.
yeah.
I will say, Kefhorn has strength. He's very muscular. You can feel his back muscles are constantly tense.
He's a massage, Benjamin.
Does it hurt?
I'm not too sure. I've kind of grown used to how it feels. It's not affecting my health, so I don't think so.
If this could all go away, would you want it to? Or is it too
You could
helpful?
change your fate, would you?
Whoa. You're a redhead too, aren't you?
Would you want it gone? Or is it too useful?
I'm assuming you're done.
I was going to cut in here, actually. As Kevhorn asks this, very faintly you hear thump, followed by like a big swooshing noise, and then another thump, big swooshing noise. Seems far off at this point, but you do hear it.
We should get you armored back up.
Wait, answer the question.
He looks at each of you guys. You guys aren't really normal. I've seen visions of myself telling me where to go, what to do at opportune moments to give me, I guess, that is an advantage.
Interesting.
It's like my echoes know about, I want to say, that's what I'm making this out to be, but I want to say it feels like they want to help me. They know about me.
Okay. I was just gonna try something, so if you ever get sick of it, it probably wouldn't work, but I'd try.
Remove curse?
Dispel magic.
Oh. What would you do? You would dispel my ring of amity?
Kevhorn starts getting his armor on. And during the entire time, it's this rhythmic, like, thrum and then a swoosh constantly happening. It's getting closer to you as you get closer to it. It seems to be coming at you rather than you approaching it.
Okay. I may then think for the spider to stop so that we have a little bit to give us a little bit of extra time for Kevhorn to be armored back up, since it seems to be moving towards us anyways.
The carriage kind of lurches as the entire spider stops and collects itself and kind of restabilizes. And yeah, it's definitely moving towards you.
Wait, but no. Tuck in.
Clasp, buckle.
Now, what could make that sort of noise?
I don't know why that made me think of Dora.
Yeah, so we get closer to Kevhorn having all of his armor on, trying to get it on in this cramped space. As it's getting closer and it's starting to shake the spider carriage now. The spider's trying to keep itself stable as you feel the quakes coming through the carriage. You also see the fog outside moves with every one of these swooshes. It all gets pushed away and then it tries to recollect. Like every time these souls try to come at you through the window, they're just getting blown away by the whatever is creating this wind force with the swishes. And
As soon as I'm done, I would get out.
Yeah, same.
yeah, you two step out of the carriage, stay within the lantern light so the souls aren't able to get at you. And you can visibly see the fog, almost like it's breathing, moving as these big whooshes come in.
I'll hop out, and I want to, like I said I was going to do, try and use a torch and light it on the lantern.
Yep.
And see, I want to see if the colors match up real quick. You know, I know there's not color, but I mean like the hues of brightness.
Oh, do you light your torch separately from the lantern or from the lantern?
From the like I'm taking the torch and I'm trying to use the lantern's flame to light the torch.
Yeah, it seems to be the same hue, the same saturation of grayscale.
And if I kind of like wave it to the spirits stay away from it.
Oh yeah, they repel from it as you swipe it around. Kevhorn, do you stay in the carriage in your snuggie or?
Wait,
sorry,
what?
not Kevhorn. Siegfried. I stared right at Barely and said Kev.
No, Siegfried will step out, and he'll actually light the sensor with the light from the carriage as well.
His new smoking mace sensor. And as you all stare, waiting for these, whatever this is creating, these quakes and this wind blast, start to see towering dark figures appearing in the fog, as 5 figures appear, 4 like in a row in the front, swinging these enormous scythes. You can see like glowing blades, or almost like phantasmal blades coming off these giant scythes as they swing them through the fog, and you can see as they cleave souls, and they gather them with their other hand and put them into these large wicker baskets at their sides. And as they get closer, you start to see they're all wearing armor that looks very chitinous in nature, almost like made out of large insect pieces, and all of the chest plates make it look like the pieces are put together to make it look like a giant skull on their chest. And they all wear these large helms as well, and walking behind them, all in step with each other, making it seem like only one of them was moving, but it was 5 of them. The one behind isn't wearing armor like the rest of them, but is instead wearing these long dark robes with a hood up, and you can see as they get closer as well and come to a stop in front of all of you. The one in the back is skulls adorned on like different straps hanging from them, large, almost giant-sized skulls, or are giant-sized skulls. They have a large stick harnessed on their back as well, but instead of this glowing scythe blade that the rest of them have, its scythe blade seems to be made out of this dark spectral energy. And they carry a skull in their hands, larger than the rest of them, and you can see inscribed on the forehead of the skull the giant death rune upon it. And as they do stop, like they stop right in front of your carriage, and as they do, Kevhorn, you do feel something pulling at you. Almost, it's like when you summon your echo, but at 100 times the scale. Like it's trying to pull something out of you.
Not knowing this, Benjamin takes a step forward, and says, speaking in giant, friends, we have come in peace, and we wish for a blessing from you to aid us on our journeys. We have heard tales on the material plane of the great death giants, not knowing much about you. Coming here and learning of your divine purpose from the Raven Queen herself to reap souls that she finds interesting. We have one amongst us who also serves a divine agent, the god Ilmater, god of suffering, and has been richly blessed of divine blood as well. We would ask for you to bestow a blessing upon them to further our journey to protect innocent souls who do not deserve to be reaped before their time.
Give me persuasion.
Love to. Dice have been rolling pretty good for me. That's a 30.
Oh, that's not bad.
17 on the die plus 13.
Dang.
It's what I'm built for.
Fair. It's fair. The robed figure in the back kind of steps forward, and the two in the center of the line of four of them step to the side to let them through. You can see their face is like very sunken and hollowed, almost giving their own face a skull-like appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "You come looking for a blessing, saying that you seek to keep innocent souls safe. When you harbinge somebody who has overdone their time with their soul."
We are not aware of anyone whose soul has overstayed their welcome on this plane.
I like look at Kevlar suspiciously back to them.
I don't understand what they're saying, so I'm just standing there.
Kevlar, please do give me a Constitution saving throw.
Lord Almighty. How could we have known? Which also, to be fair to Benjamin, he doesn't think that it's the same soul. Like, he's assuming these are individual people, so.
I had a feeling I should have used advantage. I got... How does D&D Beyond work? Would the +2 be already on the thing?
No,
Yes.
the aura for your paladin stuff isn't already added. You
Okay.
have to add it yourself. Nope.
It's not. Okay.
Oh.
So I rolled a 13.
Oh,
Okay.
that's... okay.
As you are all like, well, some of you are like, what are they talking about? And Kelmore's like, Kevlar, is that you? You see as the skull that this giant is holding, the eyes seem to have a ghastly glow to them. And Kevhorn, you see almost as it's being pulled out of your body, being peeled away from you, as this one of your echoes, the one with the charred skin, gets pulled out and shoots towards the death giant with the skull and joins in with all these other spectral figures that are flying around, orbiting this giant, and joins in with them.
I'll say with that,
Oh, go ahead.
as it's getting ripped out of me, I will jut forward and like try use my trident to stabilize myself. And I'll look back at Benjamin. Well, not look back. I'll look towards Benjamin because I'm assuming he's in the station.
Yeah. Do we all see this echo get peeled off?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to do something. I don't know if it's going to have any effect. I'm going to cast Wall of Force in the hemispherical way around Kevhorn. Because it also, nothing physical can pass through the wall, immune to all damage, also extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel. So I'm thinking like this is Benjamin's best guess of like, okay, ghosts, ethereal, spirits, I'm trying to keep as much as Kevhorn in place as possible.
Right.
And also to keep his physical form in place.
This isn't putting us into initiative, but we're gonna roll initiative just to see if you are able to put it up in time to stop this echo from leaving. But it will go up. It's just if you stop this echo or not.
You want everyone or just them?
It would just be between the giant and Benjamin.
I also am not sure if Benjamin would know and react in time to save this echo.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause I
If
think
you want to do it directly after that one gets pulled off, you can.
Yeah, because I think this is essentially like with me stepping forward. This is like when the echo like is already past me going into the skull is when I do this and see Kevhorn kind of out of the corner of my eye, like being brought forward in this motion.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, you bring up this wall of force, and you all look up and do see the giant. Like there are other souls, like going around this giant, and they come like corporeal for a second, or not corporeal, but like distinguishable for a second, and then kind of turn into almost like a moat of spirits. And you see Kevhorn's echo join it and begin flowing around this giant.
What are they saying? What are they doing?
They're saying that your soul is overdue, that it has spent too much time on the material plane, or too much time here. And then I'll switch back into giant with them. We were unaware of the status. We have seen our companions' abilities, but have not known the source of them. Do you know the source of this, then?
Let's see how in depth they know. This soul does not belong to this being. Their soul expired long ago.
What soul is in them, then?
Of this I'm not aware. But I do know, if it is a blessing you seek, we'd be willing to trade it. For the soul that does reside in your friend would be very beneficial to the Raven Queen.
And I am just making sure. This is me asking you, Baka.
Yes.
They are definitely referring to Kevhorn's soul, not the echo souls that reside in him, i.e. he would die.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't know me. I'm built different.
You know,
Is she hot? Put me in.
we could say yes and just assume we'll get a new Kevhorn that has an echo that died in this moment.
I don't think that is how it will work.
Let me look this up.
I look at Kevhorn and say, I cannot make this choice for you. I do not think it is a wise decision to agree to, but I owe you to tell you what they are offering. If we wish to get the totem's blessing, they are asking for your soul.
I can make decisions for you. If you want.
What? What?
We
Ominous.
pretty much have the same name. Don't do it. Not worth it. Like we said, let's turn around if this didn't pan out anyways.
Now I'm really curious. Seeing the bubble around me, I kind of feel safe.
I mean, it's invisible, but you would notice that, like, you would be able to feel it if you would reach out.
Hmm.
Do you have any questions for them?
Question for myself.
Yourself, or me, yourself?
I'm gonna, well, for you guys, I guess. I'm gonna keep spawning my echo to see if there's one exactly like me.
There's no, like, as far as like living ones, no, it's all died in various ways ones. Or are you looking for like exactly this moment in time one?
Yes.
Give me a d12.
A 12.
There isn't. Like, this is a definitive there isn't. It's not like you're going through them and like kind of getting duplicates sometimes, but you're not sure. It's, you know, there isn't another one exactly like you right now.
I said to the Death Giants, who's capable of putting a soul in a body it doesn't belong in? And Giant.
It'd have to be an incredibly powerful god. For this kind of soul repurposing. For it is the soul of your friend, but not his.
I do not believe your queen would do it, for it does not follow her domain, but is this beyond her power?
This would not be of the Raven Queen's doing, no. Is she capable? Yes. Is it something she has done? No.
Yes, thank you.
You see that the skull is glowing, like trying to pull at Kevhorn, but this wall of force is holding it at bay.
As if you guys are watching him, as he's switching each echo out, he's growing more weary. I think I'm the farthest one.
Then there's no reason to jinx it here and now. I will say this, as I told Siegfried, you are not more important than this totem. Or you are more important than this totem. So I reverse that.
This totem is more important. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
If an all-powerful god, but then that wouldn't make sense, because what if they did this to me so we could trade me for this totem? What if that was what we needed?
No, we'd lose totems. We'd lose the totems that you have. It doesn't make any sense, Kevhorn.
It's also not the Raven Queen's doing.
If you guys don't want to, then let's not.
You're putting this on us. This is what you want to do, Kevhorn?
No.
Then we won't do it.
Kevhorn, you can give your totems to someone else if you truly want to go through with this.
I mean, I don't think I have the totem on me.
Don't you have like not the fire,
I touched it, but we didn't take it with us.
Storm one?
Yeah, unless you guys either stole the totem or killed the giant and took the totem from him, you don't have.
I have the
You just
stone.
imbued with their
Oh,
power.
it's not like a power that we can like pass off to another person.
Yeah, no, it's imbued into you.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think we only have the stone and the frost ones, because those are the only ones because we killed the
You
frost.
would have frost and fire. I think you stole the fire.
Yeah.
You didn't steal
we
the
had to,
stone.
we cut
That
the
was...
thing. We cut it off the dying old man's neck.
Okay. Oh yeah, we brought the stone one back. We didn't keep it. That's right.
We robbed a poor dying old man of his bed.
So I go back to what I was saying then, which is we would lose a totem by losing you. So, not to mention the strongest of our group after me.
We would also lose our friend.
That too.
Okay, I refuse.
Okay. I look back up to the giants. We came here in ignorance, not knowing the status of our friend. We would ask mercy to leave this place in peace. We will not ask for your blessing. We will leave without it. If you will allow us to leave in peace.
Persuasion, please. I'll say advantage.
Oh, okay. Okay, not as good. That's only a 28.
You do see like disappointment on the main, like the leading death giant. You see the other ones are like at the ready to stride forward, but they kind of nod to him. We aren't beyond our cloud giant heritage. We could extend a further deal to all, if you would be so interested.
What are you offering?
We allow your friend to keep this stolen soul in exchange for some of their others.
How many?
Well, how many is the question? So, this is like out of character because this would directly change Kev Horn's character mechanically if this were to happen. You have two choices.
I know what you're gonna take away from me.
You have two choices, Kev Horn. You can either up your ability to choose to have advantage a certain amount of times a day, or you can give up the unlimited use of echoes and only be able to use the echo as many times as your proficiency per day. To summon an echo as many times as your proficiency per day. Because echoes are unlimited, right? I'm not making. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I would present that to Kev Horn.
Yeah.
Wait.
In story world, like, oh, this many souls, this many souls.
Yeah.
Sorry. I get to have more advantages and lose the unlimited echoes?
Yes. So either you would choose to give up your choice to have advantages, to have advantages, that feature, or you'd give up having to or being able to use your echoes unlimited and only be able to use them up to your proficiency bonus per day, and then it'd recharge every day. You just couldn't use them unlimitedly every day.
This is where I told him I'm not even gonna get.
Still don't have to.
Still don't have to.
I know. But death? Totem Siegfried?
4 echoes is pretty decent. You know, that's we get into combat once a day.
That's the thing, like 4 echoes and advantages. I don't think I don't think, I probably have. I don't think I've used advantages that much lately.
You should use it more.
Out of character, I think you have used fewer than 4 echoes in a combat, and having the advantages you've used a lot more out of combat.
Yeah.
I'll say the potency of the death totem does fluctuate depending on which choice you choose. Because it would be like soul count, giving up your choosing whenever to have advantage would give you an additional feat, as opposed to giving up your unlimited use of echoes would just be the standard death totem thing.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. This is also, while Kyle is thinking, it's doubly fun that Siegfried is getting this because he has the cloud totem, so now I'll have both sides of the same coin, because these were previous cloud giants. So like I just realized that now, that it's like doubly thematic. If we go through with it. We don't have to go through with it.
Yeah, but it'd be so much fun.
I think you should give
I
them all
gotta
your
make the
souls.
choice. I've already sold my soul, so I don't have one to give up.
Apparently, I don't have one to give up either. It's not mine.
Well, you have a soul to give up, just not your soul.
Okay. I just need this one last time. If I give up the advantages, what am I losing again?
So, either the lower, like the base totem level, you would have to give up the unlimited use of your echoes, so you could only use them up to your proficiency bonus per day. Or if you want the extra tier, the higher tier subscription fee, you have to give up all of your uses. Essentially, you just erase that line of being able to choose when you have advantage per day from your.
So I won't be able to use advantages at all.
At all.
Or we could kill them.
Unless I give them to you, or like normal
Yeah.
in-game ways, but you can't just choose to have advantage, because you get it 4 times a day right now, right?
Yes.
This is very fun. This is a very fun mechanic.
It's also
this is
funny.
very...
Yeah, it's cool, and it's funny how I just spieled my mechanics and lore to you guys, and this happens.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like
timing.
incredibly, yeah.
I'll lose my advantages.
All right. So they hold, or they put the skull down on the ground. This enormous giant skull. You can see the death rune glowing, and its eyes hungrily waiting for the wall of force to disappear.
I will walk forward, if you'll allow a little bit of flavor, to hold on to Kevhorn's hand as I dismiss the wall of force.
As soon as you dismiss this wall of force, Kevhorn, you feel this pulling at you again as souls start getting torn out of your body. You can see these different souls that have helped you along the way. You see ones with broken bones, ones that have been dismembered, gutted, all of these different echoes being torn out of you. As you lose your ability to choose when you have advantage up to your proficiency per day, which was, for those of you who aren't aware where that came from, everybody here has a little, I forget what they're called now. I keep calling them trinkets, but they had a fancier name for them.
Keepsakes?
Yeah, keepsakes. Each character had a keepsake, and it levels up with them. And one of Kevhorn's was to be able to, essentially it was the luck feat, but you had to choose to use it before knowing the results. But he has given that up in exchange for this death totem. When you feel drained, you can still summon your echoes. They just will be fewer in world, but you can still use as many times as you want per day. Nothing mechanically changed as far as that went. And as these souls are all torn away from you and join the souls that are surrounding this death giant that towers over all of you, the skull stops trying to drain souls from Kevhorn, and now glows a little more. I can see is not the right word. Satisfied. Like the glowing smoking seems a little more satisfied and calmed. And the death giant sweeps its hand out, palm open, down to the skull, inviting someone to touch it.
Look over to Siegfried.
Yeah, nudge him.
Siegfried will kind of walk forward hesitantly, and he'll kind of look back at Kevhorn.
He's, again, as each soul was, Echo soul was sucked out of him, he got judged forward and just, right now, he's on his knees with a blank stare.
Siegfried just gives Kevhorn kind of a very solemn look, possibly even a little regretful, as he'll turn back around and go to place his hand on the totem.
As you place your hand on this giant skull, right where the death rune is, every other time you guys have interacted with totems, you've like been imbued. It might have seemed like maybe like, especially with like the fire totem, it felt like you were burning at first, but it was quickly like washed over you. The ice one, you felt the sting of ice burn, frostbite. The air one, which you would be able to like equivalate this to, you felt like you were like soaring through the air. Kevhorn could have felt the endurance of stone as it melded into his being. As you touched the death totem, you were suddenly assaulted with the deaths of thousands upon thousands of souls. Some of them a little more horrific than the others. Others do have like very nice peaceful deaths, but you feel the suffering of thousands, and you do see glimpses of some of Kevhorn's souls' deaths. And as you are assaulted by this, you do gain the Death Giant Totem, which I will give to you now. Siegfried, save, and I'll read it out for the audience. So, of course, you gain Death Strike once per turn when you hit a target with a melee weapon attack or ranged weapon attack using thrown weapon. Using a thrown weapon, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of necrotic. You can use this feature, blah, 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 up to blah, 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 blah. Ability score increase your strength, con, or wisdom score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Of course, if this is the same, if you choose the same stat as your keepsake is, the keepsake allows you to go above 20. Touch of Death. When you reduce a creature within 5 feet to use 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier plus your level, minimum of 1. Hour of Reaping. Some of these might sound familiar to people that know other subclasses. You gain the ability to unsettle or terrify those around you as an action. For your soul has been touched by the shadow of death. When you take this action, each creature within 30 feet of you that you can see must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Use this a number of times, blah, blah, blah. And then the additional thing that I added on, because we gave up our advantage, is Mastery of Death. You use your familiarity with death to escape its grasp. When you or an ally are reduced to 0 hit points, they are brought up to half of their HP and all features restored. You can use this once per day.
Oh,
That's a crazy one.
oh,
Yeah, that's the one. It's that was the add-on. And for those of you who are familiar with subclasses, I use the Way of the Long Death Monk subclasses, but then I buffed that one further because usually you only get 1 hit point off of that, but now you get more HP and all your features can only use it once a day because the monk can use it up to their key points. So yeah, a little bit stronger.
Very cool. Very fun.
And I'll also say, Siegfried, I forgot to mention this with your update to your weapon, and I was going to save it until it happened in combat, but I'll just add it on now. You can now change into your Aasimar form as a bonus action instead of an action.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That way I
This is
don't
the buff
transform and
Siegfried
just stand there.
Yeah, it is very underwhelming for an Aasimar to transform. I'm here now and not do anything else on their turn.
Yeah. And I think after Siegfried feels all of the pain of these souls, he'll turn back around and go to Kevhorn.
At this point,
Yeah.
he's standing back up. You feel any more dead? It's a death totem.
Not
You
dead myself, but I got to witness the pain of everything that could have been and has been from all of those souls, from you.
a smile that he was trying to muster up just falters. I'm sorry you had to witness that. Are you okay?
I'll be all right. I'm just glad that you're all right. And Siegfried's gonna give Kevhorn a hug.
Yeah.
Hey, at least whoa, that was gonna make me. I'm gonna say it. At least there's not much voices now.
Does Siegfried hear more voices?
I will say they're not like late. That's not correct either. It's not like there's people talking to you. It's like the lingering effect of a lot of screams are happening, but they're dying away. It's not like they're going to be there constantly, but you did just witness all of that. And I will say, all of those, like, you realize in this moment how real those deaths were for those, whatever those other echoes of Kevhorn are. They were very real deaths, and Kevhorn has been dealing with having that in his mind and in his soul this whole time as well.
Yeah, I think as Siegfried is embracing Kevhorn, you can kind of see tears are streaming down Siegfried's face from his actual eyes. And he doesn't say anything.
As Kevhorn feels your tears, he'll hug you even tighter.
As you two are embracing each other, you feel as the death giants begin to move around you, continuing with their harvest of souls as they go off into the fog behind all of you, leaving you here alone. The souls at this point, like, aren't even trying to get close to you. It seems the death giants coming through here have cleared a lot of them, and it is just like fog at this point, but the souls are creeping back. They just aren't like in your space yet. But you know you have the lanterns to keep you safe and the torches, but in this moment you are in essentially a peace in this fog as you embrace each other and are here with each other.
Let's climb into the cart.
Yeah, and I think after a little bit of time, Siegfried kind of backs away from Kevhorn, keeping his hands placed on his shoulders, and just... Thank you for everything.
He's not going to look you in the eyes when he says this. You've saved us a lot of time. And what's a couple of me's compared to our other friends, our other families? Whatever it takes to stop the king from destroying everything, right? He looks at you, kind of pleading, in a way.
We will stop this. And I think Siegfried at that time will start walking back towards the spider cart wagon thing, but holding himself a little differently.
Yeah. Benjamin will make his way in. He makes sure that he's the last one to get into the car, closes it behind us. Then has the thought of the morose tavern to the spider.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, as it starts to go.
Starts to skitter off.
I want to mind message Siegfried. Did you, in all those souls, did you get the one of Kevhorn when he first drowned?
I'll say no, you did not.
No.
Kevhorn, do you want to try something? Don't know if it'll work, but it could maybe give us some insight into what happened all those years ago, back when you first drowned.
What were you thinking?
If the DM will allow, I want to modify a detect thoughts to almost bring repressed memory of that soul. See if I can see any events that, like when he died, did like a specific god like appear to him or something, and he just doesn't remember.
All right, I like this a lot. Let's leave it to a roll. What your you're a ranger, so your spellcasting modifier is your wisdom. So give me
detect thoughts. You said modify memory. Detect thoughts.
Yeah. I said spellcasting modifier. If I said modify memory, I might have. But I meant spellcasting modifier. So do an Arcana using your wisdom score.
Can I use my inspiration? So I have to call that before.
No.
Okay. Come on.
Just before you know the results. You can know the number. It's just whether it succeeded or not.
Okay. 19.
19. Yeah, I'll say with this too. Kevhorn can bring out that specific echo for this moment to help with this. As you, oh, go ahead. Were you gonna say something? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna explain to him first to see if he would even be okay.
Go ahead.
I haven't had much use for it, but I can probe into people's thoughts and see what they're thinking, and perhaps when you're drowned, you repress that memory into your head and maybe bring it to the forefront, and seeing it might give us a little more information.
Go for it.
All right. Finksay,
Yes.
do the thing with the detect thoughts dust on my hands.
Spits on your hand.
Rub them together, and I'll grab Kevhorn's head on each side.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yep, you begin looking into his memories and thoughts on that time, or you begin looking into his thoughts on the memories of that time. And it's weird because you kind of see a split happening. Like, it starts off both times. Kevhorn, do you want to explain the beginning of this at least? How it happened?
The death?
Yes. Or like leading up to.
It was at the docks, at the Sea of Fallen Star, one of the docks. His dad took him there to try and get his fishing up to par, to try and take care of their little store, their business. And nothing was happening. His dad had to go check on a few things, so Kevhorn was alone. And that's where he got a bite. He tried to reel it in, but it felt stronger. So he tried to fight it, but it yanked him into the open water. From there, you could see him struggling. Kevhorn knew how to swim, but he was panicking. He couldn't comprehend what was going on as he started to drown.
And at that time, you begin to see the memory go black. But at that moment, it begins to split. And you get two different thoughts coming to you. One is of Kevhorn's dad pulling him out of the water. And Kevhorn regaining consciousness and fighting for breath as he's spitting up water. The other feels the warm embrace of an enormous hand holding his body as he is being pulled to a brilliant light, skewering the face of whatever is cradling his body in its palm.
Well, so the second one, a giant arm picked him up.
Like a giant hand is cradling them as they are essentially being brought to the afterlife.
Do I see any discernible features on this hand?
It seems to be more like it's very large and what's the word I'm looking for?
In charge.
Tough. It's like tough and well worn.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem enormous. Whether that's because it's some kind of a divinity or what other reason there might be to it. But like essentially Kevhorn's body is like this in its palm. Like not even the size of the palm.
And the memory forked, and there's the memory of his father saving him.
Mm-hmm.
If it's too much, let me know. Wait, hold on. Let's make sure this is even makes sense. Oh, I might not even have to even do that. 1 second. Okay. So, if you'll allow me, I know this is going even a further step.
Okay.
So if you don't, that's okay. In that split memory of his father saving him, can I use my primeval awareness to sense if there was any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fiends, or undeads present within 1 mile of him?
Within the one where his father is saving him, there is none of that. In the one that he's being cradled in a poem, it is a celestial.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, is that all I get? I think that's a lot.
Yeah. Yep, that'd be all you get.
Did you see any of that?
I'll say you also relived that, Kevin.
Oh,
Oh, you don't remember like the being cradled in a hand part. That's new to you.
well, at this point,
Mm.
he's silently crying. Because he did relive that. But I don't remember that hand. Do you recognize it? Do you recognize that hand?
No, just that it looked like the hands of a craftsman. But if you don't remember that, I mean, it might just mean that you're the one that your father pulled out. I in that one with your father, I expected to sense something putting your soul back. That's not what seems to be the case.
I'll do a little amendment. There was a lingering of celestial in that one as well. But in the moment of Kev Horn's father pulling him out of the water, it wasn't there anymore. It was there at one point, though.
So, I don't know. I feel like that gives us more questions than answers. But, I don't know.
Thank you, though. Something. It's a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry to make you relive it. Should have thought that one through.
I see it every time. It's fine.
I'm just gonna like message the other two. I just don't want to like be like putting thoughts in Kev Horn's head. Like I said, it was the hand that grabbed him It's like the hand of a god that, you know when you've seen someone who's worked a real hard day's work in their life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a far shot. I'm thinking maybe there's a god reforging Kevhorn's soul to be stronger each time. Some sort of god of craftsmanship or blacksmith. I don't know. Soul smithing.
With everything that just happened, Siegfried seeing Kevhorn's tattoo, essentially absorbing these souls and all of this information coming forward, does Siegfried recognize any gods who can/have done this in the past?
Give me a religion check.
I have a different but related question to gods.
Okay.
Would the god, because he's kind of like the one that prevents gods from interfering with things, like Ao, I think it is. Does he have? Would Benjamin know if he has like divination portions as part of his portfolio? That's what he's like trying to see, if this is like this like god who's trying to prevent things from interacting but has for some reason chosen to do this.
Also give me religion.
I got a 23.
A 23.
I got a 9.
9. There's not fairly enough. There's not a lot of information on AO because it doesn't want to be involved with all this stuff. But yeah, the 23. It's weird because all of these things seem like they should be calling cards for a god, but they aren't lining up with each other. Almost as if on purpose.
So meaning that I don't think that this is the work of a god?
Not that, but it seems to be whatever god did this is trying to make it see so that they won't be picked out if somebody were to start catching on to something. But also the calling cards don't like, even like the branching tattoo doesn't like line up with anything. Like it's not like a doesn't seem like any of the mythological trees or celestial trees you would think of. Yeah, like none of them are specific calling cards to a god, and they don't line up with each other. So it's like it seems to be purposely trying to cover whoever did this.
Okay. Siegfried will respond to Kelborn and Benjamin. This god is trying not to be picked out.
But on a 23, I'm going to say, with this conversation that Kelborn had with the two of you, you kind of got lingering images of what Kelborn saw. And Siegfried, the hand that was holding Kevhorn's soul wasn't enormous only because it was a deity, but because it was a giant deity. And that's where we're going to wrap our session. So, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We got a lot of fun stuff. We got a little morose ourselves. Got a little sorrow for ourselves here. So, yeah, guys, go have a little bit of comfort time. But that's what makes a story, the ups and downs. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight, and let's keep making stories together.